Good afternoon, everyone. This is Aaron from the WORLEY-BUGGER. I'm going to show you how to tie a nice little stonefly pattern here. Great attractor. Really good for fishing or drop render. Primarily all foam, all synthetic material, so it floats really great. And it's a pretty good bug to throw out there during stonefly season. Okay, so we're going to start out with a 2X size 8 hopper hook, 12/0 thread, Beavis. Going to start this fly by just laying down a foundation of thread down the whole hook. We want to go well into the down end of the hook where it's pointing down. Okay, so first material into this fly is going to be a fine brown rubber leg. We want to kind of stretch this and pull it right down the top of the hook. We want to keep it right down the top side of the hook. Cut off our excess. Make sure it's secured good. Right back down to the tail of the fly. So now that we've got this secured in good, we've brought the thread all the way back down where we tied in our tail. And take a 1mm piece of foam. You can change the colors if you want. What I've done is I've taken some marker and just colored the top of the foam, so it's going to show up in the segmentation of the body. Just give it something a little different. And you're going to tie it so that the longest point on the angle that we've cut in this foam, it helps secure it in a little bit easier. It'll be facing away from you, so we want to secure that in good. Bring our thread forward. So when we wrap this, we want to make sure that the part that we color is facing back. I'm going to pull on this pretty good. I'm going to cover each section halfway as I go forward. I'll secure this in. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our underwing in. What I'm going to use for that is just a bit of widow's web. I like gray or tan. You want to keep this pretty sparse. We're going to fold it over, secure it in good here. We're going to cut that off right at the back of the hook. So next material, natural deer hair for the overwing. I'm going to comb out all the underfibers and stack it. About I don't know, quarter to a half of a pencil is kind of what you're shooting for. You don't want to get too carried away. You want to try to keep the bulk in the front of the fly to a minimum. So we lay these on, we're going to put them just slightly past our underwing, and kind of just take a few loose wraps here and then bind down tighter. Oop. So just bind down a little tighter with every wrap until everything's secured in good. Come in here with our scissors and cut all the butts of this hair out here. It's gonna all be covered, so you just trim it as close as you can. Just gonna kind of cover everything here. So after we get this deer hair tied in good and kind of get it covered up, next thing we're going to do is take another fine brown rubber leg for our antenna here, secure it in here, clip off our excess. Clean everything up here good. So now we're going to take a different color foam. This one's dark brown instead of tan. Cut a wedge on it. A little easier to hold on to when you do it this way. A little easier to tie into. You want to try to get this as close to that eye of the hook without covering it as you can. Secure it in here good. If you got a rotary vise, it certainly helps. You can roll this over. Same thing with the underside here. Go back top side. So kind of secure this down good. Cover everything up. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to fold this foam over it. So bring that foam all the way back near the front here. I'm going to fold this top piece over to start with. It's going to form the head of our stonefly. So I just kind of clip this off so I can sneak it underneath the hook, whatever length that is. Same thing here. A couple good wraps. I'm going to bring this foam forward, sneak back here, right to where we stopped tying the wing in. We're going to make our second segment here. I'm just going to leave this long but clip it off so it's out of the way. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in our rubber legs. These are fine rubber. I've just knotted them, so 2 on each side, and then we're gonna have these oriented the right direction. I'm gonna leave them about 1/2 inch from the joint to the body of the fly. And then you can tie one in or leave it off. It's your preference. You can put an indicator on here. Certainly makes it a little bit easier to see. This fly is pretty big, so it ain't too hard to see on the water. So I just kind of clip everything off that's extra. And then just whip finish. Clip off our thread. I'll take a bit of super glue or cement and just kind of hit these few little spots where that helps hold everything in place and keeps the legs from coming out. And then I'm going to go through and just kind of trim everything up. If these legs kind of go out of place, you can roll them around to get them back in the right orientation. So not a huge deal. You just roll with your fingers until they're how you want them. Trim everything up. Inch on the tail. I usually go a little bit shorter on the dry fly antenna just because that way they don't foul the hook. So I'll just kind of come in and clean everything up, and then this last piece of foam here, we'll cut it off to where we want it. Make a little V notch in here. And there you have it. You can adjust the, like I said, you can roll these legs around and get them to point down. You mess with them for a minute, and then you can put some glue on them too. That'll kind of hold them in place.